across the nation and around the globe, welcome to Prime TV News with me, Iftia Abdul Kader. A look at your headlines first. Prime Minister's attention is drawn to uplift the curtailed public service. Minister S.B. Dissanayaka has said that they can show a majority if necessary before the 14th. Police department comes under the president. Air Force rescues 7 lives. And on news overseas, a wildfire near Los Angeles burns over 20,000 acres. In your local news this evening, President Maithripala Sirisena has said that a cabinet subcommittee will be appointed to sort out the issues in the gem and jewelry sector. The president made this reference at a discussion held at the president's office to look into the issues prevailing in the gem and jewelry sector. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has drawn his attention to the granting of all benefits of state executive grade officers who were suspended by the previous government. This has been mentioned when a group of officials of the Executive Officers Joint Committee and the Government Ayurveda Medical Officers Union met the Prime Minister.
Nima
Karunasiri, the president of the Executive Officers Joint Committee and the Government Ayurveda Medical Officers Union said that they requested to rectify the pension issue of these who joined the public service after 2016 and grant them the pension due to them. He said that they requested to sort out the salary anomaly issue surfaced following the granting of a salary hike of 341% from the 1st of January 2018 to the legal sector. They also requested to look into duty-free vehicle permits entitled to all the executive officers and do justice to them. A fuel allowance is also being given to those in the legal sector. As such, they requested to look into granting this allowance to those in other parallel grades. This, he said, would not cause a loss to the government. Agreement was reached to continue this discussion in the future. Specialist Dr. Anuruddha Padenia of the Government Medical Officers Association said that they experienced a major pressure in the past following the inking of trade agreements, sans a trade policy. This was done without the approval of the cabinet or without being taken up in parliament. He said that the Prime Minister agreed to the basic facts to remove all those who took the initiative of signing the Singapore Agreement, the ETCA Agreement, and 3 other agreements, and to formulate a national trade policy with the sponsorship of the government. Kapila Pereira, secretary of the Professionals National Front, said that the report of the committee appointed to analyze the Singapore Agreement will be released in the future. They were given an assurance that action would be taken to adhere to the facts of the report. He said it would be possible to sort out the issue as they and 7 other organizations had gone to courts against the Singapore Agreement. Vimal Veeravansha has been sworn in as Minister of Housing and Social Welfare. He took oaths before President Maithripala Sirisena. The swearing-in took place this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. President's Secretary Udaya R. Seneviratne was present on the occasion. Meanwhile, the police department has been brought under the Defence Ministry based on the Gazette notification containing the subjects that come under the new ministers. The Defence Ministry is under the President. The police department was hitherto under the Ministry of Law and Order. According to the Gazette notification, 17 institutions, including the Armed Forces, the Civil Defence Department, the National Cadet Corps, the Coast Guard Department and the National Media Centre have been brought under the Defence Ministry. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka All state banks and companies under it, as well as the Public Utilities Commission, have been brought under the purview of the Finance Ministry. This ministerial portfolio is being held by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. These came under the Enterprise Development Ministry during the previous government. Also, the Sri Lankan Airlines and Mihin Lanka, which were under this ministry, have been brought under the Transport and Civil Aviation Ministry. This portfolio is held by Nimal Siripala de Silva. On to a headline-making story, Minister S.B. Dissanayake has said that they could show a majority if necessary before the 14th of this month. He expressed this view after assuming office as the Chief Government Whip. More ministers have also assumed office. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was present when State Minister Anura Priyadarshana assumed office. Minister of Highways and Road Development S.B. Dissanayake has been appointed as the Chief Government Whip. He assumed duties in his new position at the office located at the Parliamentary Complex this morning amidst religious observances. Many parliamentarians were present on the occasion. Chief Government Whip Minister S.B. Dissanayake said that the Speaker seems to be disturbed. After a Prime Minister is appointed by the President, there is a law in the country to evict the Prime Minister by moving a no-confidence motion against him. But he said that they have no patience. He said that they expected to show their strength to the country before the 14th. He said that with the changes taking place in the country, the people will understand that there is not only 113, but beyond 120 for the Rajapaksa government. State Minister for Finance Anura Priyadarshana assumed duties in his portfolio at the Finance Ministry amidst religious observances today. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and many parliamentarians joined in this occasion. After assuming office, Anura Priyadarshana said that there is problems in the country. There are issues in the taxes that are being levied. The depreciation of the rupee against the dollar has become a major issue. In this respect, they have to adhere to a short-term as well as a long-term program. Although this cannot be done within a day or two, the Prime Minister has taken a basic step. He said they believe that some relief could be granted by developing the country. He pointed out that the current Finance Minister, who is the Prime Minister, has broad experience in this respect. He assured his full dedication to him and the ministry. Minister of Public Administration, Home Affairs and Justice, Susil Premajayant, also assumed office today amidst religious observances. The minister said that he would dedicate his services to serving the public in an efficient manner according to his portfolio. Minister Susil Premajayant further said that the Ministry of Public Administration is the backbone of the entire public service. There are also many institutions coming under the Home Affairs portfolio. He said that the public employees should be saturate to undertake a proper public service management. Technology could be widely applied for this sector. The foreign travel ban imposed on former Defence Secretary has been lifted for a period of 1 month, effective from the 14th of December. The ruling was given by the Special Permanent High Court at Bar. The former Defence Secretary was permitted to travel abroad following a request made by the Defence Party. The permission was granted when the case filed against him over the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial Museum was taken up for hearing today. The High Court at Bar ordered to take up the case again on the 27th of this month. Meanwhile, the Colombo High Court today granted permission to former General Secretary of the United National Party, Tissa Attanayake, to travel abroad from the 14th to the 24th of this month. A foreign travel ban was imposed on him over the allegation of preparing a deceitful document to the media. The Sri Lanka Air Force has succeeded in rescuing 6 persons who disappeared following the breach of a tank as a result of the torrential rains. In the meantime, the Department of Meteorology has forecast heavy rains today too. Continuous relief operations are being carried out with the mediation of the Disaster Management Centre. A helicopter of the Sri Lanka Air Force has rescued 6 people who had been trapped as a result of a break in the dam of Alampil Nittakai tank Mullaitivu. Accordingly, the Air Force had deployed an Mi-17 helicopter and 6 airmen under the instructions of Air Force Commander for the rescue mission this morning. A group of individuals went missing as the dam of the Nittakai tank in Kumulamune, Mullaitivu had breached yesterday. Several individuals who had been engaged in farming activities in the proximity of the tank and a family of 3 were reported missing following the incident. Deputy Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, said that the Air Force rescued 6 people trapped in Mullaitivu after a dam broke and water flooded the area. The Air Force said that the dam in Alampil Nittakai broke, resulting in a village in the area being flooded. 6 people trapped in the area were rescued using an Mi-17 helicopter. Pradeep Kodipilli also said that the landslide threat issued by the National Building Research Organisation for the Kalutara, Nuwara, Matale, Kagala, Ratnapura districts is still valid. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology has forecast heavy rains in the next few days. You're watching Prime TV News, and still on the local scene, the Tamil Progressive Alliance has said that it would take no action against the president. This assurance has been given by its leader, parliamentarian Manu Ganeshan. He was addressing journalists in Yatiantota. Manu Ganeshan said that their party will not at all extend support to any impeachment motion brought against the president. As a responsible party, their aim is to overcome the present crisis. Meanwhile, if a proposal was made in Parliament that Ranil Wickremesinghe should remain as Prime Minister, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna said that it would not support such a move. This was mentioned by General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna during a news conference held at the party office today. Tilvin Silva said that there is no need for their party to directly or indirectly support anyone. If so, they would directly say it. There is no need for the JVP to make Mahinda or Ranil or anyone else the Prime Minister. It had to be sorted if anyone takes over with a majority in Parliament. He emphasized that they had nothing to do with the United National Party. 3 years have passed since the death of the most venerable Maduluave Sobita Thera. There were many Buddhist monks who worked for the welfare of the nation in every era in Sri Lanka's history. The venerable Maduluave Sobita Thera was also one such Buddhist monk. He stood up on behalf of justice and fairness fearlessly, disregarding any religion or nationality. A commemorative function was held at the Kotte Sri Naga Vihara to mark the 3rd death anniversary of the prelate. Floral tributes were paid to the statue of the Venerable Maduluave Sobita Thera. A group including Chief Incumbent of the Naga Vihara, the Venerable Waturavila Sri Sujata Thera, and the Venerable L.A. Gunavansha Thera, and ministers Dr. Vijayadas Rajapaksha and Dinesh Gunavardhana joined in the occasion. The Colombo Chief Magistrates Court today ordered Onela Karunanayaka, the daughter of parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayaka, to appear in court on the 12th of this month. The Chief Magistrate instructed lawyers appearing on behalf of Global Transportation and Logistics Company to produce the documents that had so far not been produced for investigations. Accordingly, Onela Karunanayaka was ordered to give a statement to the Criminal Investigations Department. It was done when the case related to former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake was summoned through a motion with respect to giving false evidence at the Bonds Commission appointed to inquire into the central bank bond scam. The lawyers of Unila Karunanayake informed the court that their client was unable to give a statement despite arriving at the Criminal Investigations Department on several occasions. The Colombo Chief Magistrates Court had earlier ordered to implement several orders given with respect to Global Transportation and Logistics Company belonging to Ravi Karunanayake. The relief granted to the people through the reduction of bus fares is now effective. Bus fares were reduced by 2% with effect of midnight yesterday. Bus associations claim that there is no change in the minimum bus fare. The decision to reduce the bus fares was taken up during a recent discussion held between the bus associations and the National Transport Commission. Prices of fuel and several other commodities were reduced with the appointment of the new Prime Minister and with the consent of the President. Bus fares were reduced in this manner, granting the benefit of the reduction of fuel prices to the commuters. The Katunayake Airport Customs has foiled an attempt to smuggle out foreign currency worth more than 10 million rupees. Customs media spokesman Sunil Jairatna said that a 58-year-old person from Negombo was preparing to board a flight to Singapore in the wee hours of today when he was apprehended by the officers of the Central Intelligence Directorate of Sri Lanka Customs at the airport's departure lounge. He was reportedly attempting to smuggle out foreign currency notes, including 50,000 euros, 5,000 US dollars, and 149 Singapore dollars. The currency was valued at more than 10 million rupees. The customs spokesman said the currency notes were wrapped in newspapers and concealed inside his luggage. The stock of foreign currency was declared forfeit and a penalty of 100,000 rupees was imposed on the suspect after a formal customs inquiry. For more information, visit www.itnnews.lk. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.